M-I-Z.
Z-O-U.
What a welcome to this episode of Three More Questions with David Novak. David, we did the M-I-Z-Z-O-U cheer before I rolled with the intro because today we're debriefing your conversation with Coach Drinkwitz, who is the head football coach at the University of Missouri, which just so happens to be where you attended college.
Absolutely. And it was so much fun going to the Vanderbilt game and being the honorary captain. It was incredible. Being on the sideline, just watching the whole situation was incredible. And, it's something that I will always remember. I've been blessed to do a lot of things in my life, but I don't think I've ever had more fun than I had on Friday and Saturday being with the team.
It looked so epic. I mean, you and Luther Burden are like dabbing each other up in the locker room after the game.
Oh, well, Luther Burden is an incredible receiver. And he had 2 touchdowns. And, I told him before the game, I said, I'm going to be watching you because I know how good you are. And I'm going to learn a lot just by watching you. And I did, because this guy works his tail off. His work ethic is incredible. But once he gets that ball, nobody's going to bring him down. He is really one tough cookie and with a great set of hands. And I think 4.38 speed or something like that. I mean, this guy's fast and has it all. He'll be a first-round draft pick.
I love it. Well, in the episode, Coach Drinkwitz, which everyone just calls him Drink, so that's
for obvious
what I'm going to call him
cool.
too.
It's pretty hard to say, hey, Drinkwitz, how you doing today?
Yeah.
Drink works
right,
a lot better.
One thing he says in the episode is that when they dab each other up, they consider the dabbing each other up to be the transfer of positive energy. So that's what we're going to take into this episode of Three More Questions. We're going to transfer some positive energy, David, and we're going to get rolling with today's questions.
All right, I can't wait.
Question number 1. One thing I was really impressed by is how Coach is such a visionary while also having a really firm grip on what's going on in the here and now. He has this 1-0 mindset. Every week, we're going to be 1-0. Yet he also maintains this vision for the future. David, how do leaders find the balance between those two things?
I think, first of all, you have to understand how important it is to do both as a leader. You've got to have vision. You got to have creativity. You got to see, as Wayne Gretzky used to say, where the puck is going and keep your program ahead. And that's really important. At the same time, you can't get ahead of yourself. You got to realize that you've got to approach every game with a 1-0 focus that you mentioned. And, Drink really does that. And, all you have to do is just see what's happening at Mizzou. They've got new facilities that are just incredible. They're going to be expanding the stadium, which is really going to be great. They've got an innovative approach to everything that they do. And, this guy is always thinking about, where he's going to take the program, how he can make it even better. And, one of the things that we talked about was, he said, a couple years ago, he was looking at his performance and he felt like, he needed to do a better job developing his people, developing his coaches, really teaching them everything that he knew and really get focused on them, making sure that his players and his coaches were his number one focus. And once he did that, he said it just really unlocked the performance of the team, his coaches, and himself. And, I think when you've got that kind of attitude, you'll figure out, what's next and what has to happen today.
He says in the episode that his existence is his players and his coaches. And I love that. It really comes through in the episode with him, how much he just freaking deeply cares about these players and these coaches. And that's what he credits most of their recent success to.
Sam Walton used to say that no one will care about you until you care about them. And Drink understands this, 100%. And I tell you what, his players and his coaches, they will follow him into any battle and really have his back because they love him and they know that he cares about them.
Question number 2. One challenge Drink faces is that his football players are part of a generation that is under-encouraged and under-challenged. Pair that with the fact that pretty much everything has changed in the landscape of college football recently with the transfer portal and the NIL money coming in. I mean, college football coaches are under a lot of pressure to keep their talented players from going anywhere else. David, if you were a college football coach in today's environment, knowing all you know about what it means to retain great talent, how would you go about creating a culture for your team where players wouldn't be tempted to leave?
Well, I think number one, people want to be part of greatness. They want to be a part of something really special. You don't want to go into any situation and participate in mediocrity. So what you really want to do is let your team members know that you are on a mission to make sure they can achieve everything they can achieve in every possible way as individuals, but more importantly for a team. And that the team is what everything is all about. But you play a major role in making that team be as great as it can possibly be. The thing about Drink that I love is this guy understands the power of culture. You know, people leave when they don't feel appreciated or they don't get along with their boss. That's why I always say you ought to be a coach. You know, don't be a boss. Well, he understands that, and he lets his players know how much he appreciates them, and he really coaches them to achieve their fullest potential. So he has that in his DNA, but he knows the power of really creating a positive work environment. I have to tell you, when I walked into the athletic facility, the football facility, and he took me around and introduced me to all the coaches, they were so pumped up. They were like, can't wait to say hello to you. It's like they jump up and say hello and, break your hand. And, these guys are like, just really excited about what they're all about. And they're excited to be a part of this mission to really compete in the SEC, which is the greatest conference in football, and, to make the top 12 playoff system this year. These people were pumped up. And the other thing about their culture is they have fun. They beat the drum. They do clapping together. I went into the quarterback room where they were meeting together, prepping for the Vandy game, and they went through a Time magazine survey of who were the top 10 most influential people in the history of the world. And they only had to get five, and I think I took him down the river because I told him I thought Julius Caesar might be one, and he was like number 15. I said, don't listen to me anymore. But everybody was laughing and having a good time, and you felt that positive energy wherever you go. And I think when you have that kind of winning environment, they won the Cotton Bowl last year, and they want to do even better this year, and they're continuing to recruit to build a team. When you have that kind of winning environment and a very, very positive culture, nothing's going to stop you, and you don't want to go anywhere else. I remember at Yum Brands, we always had this mantra, which is, why would you work anywhere else? Because we had a powerful culture and we were winning. That's exactly what Drink's doing at Mizzou.
I love it. I love it so much. One thing that he communicates over and over to the team is that one of their key tenets is that they have the edge. And edge is an acronym. It's energy, details, grit, and emotional consistency. And even just hearing you talk about meeting all those other coaches, David, they really live that out. I mean, it's energy, it's passion, it's emotional consistency. And I mean, that's really what makes or breaks it when it comes to players leaving or staying.
And that's what purposeful recognition is. He's identified the behaviors that he thinks is going to make him a successful team, and he goes out of his way to recognize it whenever he sees it. And I think that's extremely powerful.
I love it. I love it. All right, question number 3. I got to know. You were the honorary captain at the Mizzou game when they played Vanderbilt. What the heck was that like? I mean, it had to just be electric.
It was incredible. It really was, because I got a behind the scenes look at how football really happens, and I was able to be in some of the team meetings. I was actually able to give a little motivational speech to the team, which I loved, and I think the team members kind of resonated with it. So I kind of became a little bit a part of the team. I went through the walkthrough on Friday night when they went through the plays as an offense. Then I went to the chapel experience where they had a minister from Columbia come in and talk to the team. Then I went to the team dinner. And then I went to the last thing they do, like at 9:30 at night, where they review the things that are going to really make them successful the next day. And so it was fun. And then on Saturday, I got to go out with the captains and be there for the coin toss. And then I was on the sideline. I was on the sideline watching every play. Almost got hit one of those plays. I thought I was going to be injured. You have to keep your eyes open on that stuff, I guarantee you, or else you could really get decked. It was just incredible. It was an overtime game. They
Double
finally,
overtime.
yeah, Missouri was like 21-point favorites and ended up winning by 3. And I was thinking, oh, I'm so glad they won because I'd like to come back someday. It was that
Yeah,
much
you got to
fun.
be a good luck omen.
We got a game ball for David, first win as honorary captain.
But you can see just how excited I was. But the thing that hit me the most was just, I always say positive energy lifts you up, negative energy brings you down. That team was so positive. The coaches were so positive, and it was contagious. And even when looked like Vanderbilt just could possibly knock them off, there wasn't anybody on that team that thought they would lose. Everybody thought they would find a way, and they did. And to be able to run out there on the field with everybody afterwards and have these guys that are 6'9" and 310 pounds picking you up and giving you a hug, it was really, really, really cool. So yes, I loved it. MIZ.
ZOU.
You
I
got
can't
it.
I can't believe I'm actually saying that in public because, as you know, Missouri is not my team. Alabama
One
is
of the
my team.
things
But
I know they're going to be playing Alabama in 3 or 4 weeks, and I think Mizzou just might knock them off. But one of the things that was really interesting at the game is that at the end of the game, it was so loud. I had my Apple Watch on, and I got in the warning that said the decibel level was so loud that I could have
No way.
I could have hearing impairment if it lasted for 30 minutes. It was that loud. I mean, it was just
Wow.
incredible. But one thing that did bother me a little bit is in the first quarter, Missouri didn't make a first down, and this is the first, I think, top ranked team they've had in a long time. I forget the year, but it's been quite a while. They didn't make a first down, and the crowd started booing. And I thought, geez, why would you do that? I mean, this team is already 3-0. They've got great things moving ahead. Why would you boo them? Because I do really believe, no matter whether you're a fan or a player, positive energy lifts you up, negative energy brings you down. And I think that really upset the players, and I don't blame them. Now, nobody's going to tell that to the press. I can say it, but I'm sure Drink's going to just tell everybody, and he has, how much he appreciated the tremendous support because it was really loud. But I think support has to happen, in both the good times and the bad. And when you're trying to win, go 1-0 that day, I think you need that support throughout the game, not just when you score the touchdown.
There truly is no environment like an SEC football game, especially when you're on the field. So I can only imagine how exhilarating that was for you. And David, we might not speak after that Missouri-Alabama game.
Yeah,
if
because
Missouri
I think you're going to
indeed
have some.
beats Alabama.
The reckoning is coming.
Oh, no, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Well, that does it for our episode of 3 More Questions for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to How Leaders Lead. We're on a mission to make the world a better place by developing better leaders. And if you carve out a little time with us each and every week, we'll help you build the confidence you need to lead well.
It was a fun episode, cool, and thank you for letting me get a little bit carried away here. And but it was a real hoot to be, right there, seeing it all happen at Mizzou, where I happened to graduate in 1974. And I want to say one little shout out to the Missouri president, Moon Choi. They were thoughtful enough to take a tree, which is located right near the famous columns of Missouri on the quadrangle, right near Jesse Hall, and put a little monument there for my late wife Wendy, who passed away in February. And it was very emotional, but it was also very, very special. And I love the fact that they would go to that, be that thoughtful and that caring. But having said that, coming up next on How Leaders Lead is Mike Worth. the chairman and CEO of Chevron.